Hey, what's up my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? So Dragoons, today we are going to be doing a deck profile of my current CardFight Vanguard, Kagero, Lawkeeper deck profile. Now, deck hasn't really gone through that many changes, but I still mess around with the deck. I think this deck definitely does have a lot of potential. What's going on? I know Legion is now a thing, so this deck may struggle a little bit of dealing with certain things every here and there. But I do have faith and confidence that this deck can still hold its own. It can still do what it does best, and it can still rack up some serious huge plays with just him alone. And the deck itself is it's still very versatile. It's still aggressive. It's still aggro, and it can still be the in-your-face style to almost any deck right now in the game right now. And it's just all in all a great fun deck to have around and play around every now and then. So with that being said, let's get right straight to deck profile right now. Shall we, Dragoons? Alright, start off with your starting Vanguard, Red Pulse Draco Kid. Kagero is no longer allowed to be your starting Vanguard, so we gotta make best with what we got. Red Pulse Draco Kid is actually not bad substitute. He does allow you to get that much closer to your Lawkeeper or your Dual X Archdragon, and either one or the other is definitely very good. And with the right combos, you could actually get one or the other off out of him really quick and fast. So Red Pulse Draco Kid is still a great reliable card. And as for the trigger lineup, we have, of course, the 4 heal triggers. I don't think I really need to explain why this is important. It's your 4 heals, it's Vanguard, so you kind of have to play your 4 heals. And if you Dragoons have known me for quite some time, since I first got into Vanguard, I think your Dragoons will obviously see this one coming. I play the 6 critical and 6 draw lineup. Now, this allows me to be aggressive, still be able to hit as much damage as I possibly can, but at the same time, by playing 6 triggers, I can actually draw into what I need to a little bit faster, and hopefully get to my key cards, what I need importantly, as fast as I possibly can. But at the same time, with the draws, I can do that while still playing more than 4 criticals, and still be able to inflict as much damage as I possibly can to my opponent. Because in a deck like this, you kind of want, even with decks like Dragon Monk, not decks, pardon me. Even with cards like Dragon Monk Gojo and such, you do want as much stuff to draw into what you do want to draw into as much as you can. So 6 heal 6 draws and 6 criticals is the way to go with me these days. Although I will admit, I have pondered on trying out the 7 critical and 5 draw lineup, see how it goes. And yeah, maybe in the near future I might try something different for once. But for right now, this is what I normally like doing the most. And as for the grade 1 lineup, we have the 4 perfect guards. Think I need to explain why this is so important. Now, in a lot of Kagero decks these days, they no longer play what I'm about to show you, Dragoons, for a very understandable reason. But I still play this deck. But in this deck right here, I think it's definitely very necessary to play a 4. And that is 4 copies of the Embodiment of Armor Bar. Now, I know the grade 1 8K vanilla guys aren't really as useful as they used to be, but in a deck like Lawkeeper, you want to be able to give your front row rear guards as much power as you possibly can, and Bar does make sure they get the power up. Like, when Bar is boosting up your Dual X Archdragon as your rear guard, while your Vanguard is still Lawkeeper and swinging with so much power, this gives you right here so much control, so much power over your opponent's rear guard and Vanguard, and you can just annihilate some stuff right there, here and there. Like if Bar really does become not as good, I may take Bar out for something. But as in a deck of Lawkeeper, I think Bar is very necessary. Gives your Vanguard and gives your rear guards a huge bunch of power when your Lawkeeper's ability is just temporarily getting rid of those rear guards. Next up, we have 4 copies of Dragon Monk Gojo. Pitch a card, draw a card by just resting him. Nothing really too special. And if you choose not to use his ability, he's always still a decent booster as well. Like, not as well as a booster as Bar, but he is still a 7k booster, which almost gives your rear guard a huge power. So, and this guy is boosting your Dual X Archdragon. Your Dual X Archdragon will be swinging at 20,000 power. So, yeah, either way, Bar or Monk, it's very useful. Like, Monk is there for in case you do have the Bar in the field and you want to use ability to draw into what you need to draw into. And every now and then, your Vanguard doesn't always need a good rear guard boost him. So if push comes to shove, you can always use him as your back row rear guard, and say the rest of your back row rear guards support your front row rear guards, and your Lawkeeper and along with your front row guys will just annihilate some stuff. So 4 monks. And then here's Lawkeeper's best friend, crime fighting partner, and that has 2 copies of Lizard Soldier Repia. Repia is a really great card for a deck like this. Your Lawkeeper is obviously going to be binding all your opponent's rear guards, so your opponent's not going to have any rear guards when you go off with your Lawkeeper's ability. And as long as you have possessed this guy and another rear guard, your Lawkeeper and this guy's support is boosting your Vanguard Lawkeeper. Excuse me. Your Lawkeeper will be swinging at a total of 23,000 power, while the rest of your other rear guards are going to be swinging at either 18,000, 19,000, 20,000, 21,000, just insane power. And this guy is just going to make icing on the cake for your Lawkeeper. It's just ridiculous. And that's it for the grade 1s. All I'm really doing with the grade 2s is nothing really that exciting, but it definitely does come in handy, come in play very well. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And that is all 3 copy. And that is 8 different 8K 2 grade 2 vanillas right here. 4 no-hollows and 4 cross-shot guys. Now, these guys are done very good. Your ideal goal is to have as much powerful rear guards as you possibly can. You're going to be using your Lawkeeper's ability to lock out all your opponent's rear guards. And then these guys will swing in along with your Vanguard. You want to be able to have as much powerful rear guards as much as you possibly can while you're swinging down on your opponent's rear guards. And by playing this guy right here, by playing these guys right here, it gives you the opportunity to be aggressive, be powerful, have a lot of field presence, and just annihilate what's going on to your opponent's Vanguard. Just make your opponent use up so many resources the best you possibly can. And of course, to finish off the grade 2 lineup, we have 3 copies of Berserk Dragon. Just in case if there's that one rear guard you don't want to deal with, and you know by fact your opponent is going to save it the best they possibly can, even with the binding ability of your Lawkeeper, Berserk Dragon is definitely a very good answer to that. Like, it gets rid of those annoying backward rear guards you don't want to deal with, or even those other certain front row rear guards that you don't want to deal with. Just count blast 2 cards. Whenever you call or ride him, just get rid of that rear guard, and you can just have less threat to deal with. And it's definitely a very good card to ride into over your no-hollows or cross shots, because it saves you more powerful rear guards to have when you ride into your grade 3 Vanguard. So, 3 Berserk Dragons, I definitely still like. And for the grade 3 lineup, now I have pondered on trying out Dauntless Drive Dragon, because I think Dauntless Drive Dragon is a very great card to support with Lawkeeper. But for right now, I'm just messing around with this right now at the moment, and that is max copies of Dual Axe Archdragon. Archdragon, if he ends up being your Vanguard instead of Lawkeeper, it's not the end of the world as long as you eventually ride into your Lawkeeper. Until you ride into your Lawkeeper, Dual Axe Archdragon is actually a decent Vanguard himself. He's still a Vanguard that can just become 1300 on its own without doing anything in particular. But he's more better as a rear guard when you're doing your stuff. And rear guard or Vanguard, as long as you play out your strategies right, he'll be at 1300 at least. And with the right booster, he can just get over some huge things very easily, and he'll either force your opponent to take the attack, or take the hit of the attack, or just use up some resources just to block off this guy's attack. And when you go off with your Lawkeeper's Limit Break, oh my god, you're just gonna knock some hits all day long. And of course, your idea boss card of the entire deck, and that is of course max copies of Dragonic Lawkeeper. Now, Lawkeeper, such an amazing card. Limit Break 4, Count Blast 1 card, bind all your opponent's rear guards during their end phase. During the end of your turn, they do get their rear guards back, but if the total rear cards are binded by this effect is 5 total, they must choose one of their rear guards to be retired. Now, this is definitely very useful, because if you retire 5 rear guards total, if you bind 5 rear guards total, one of them will be retired. The one thing you gotta watch out when using the Lawkeeper's ability is, once your opponent gets their rear guards back, they will be allowed to place their rear guards back to any circle like you want. Like, for example, let's pretend you're playing like some sort of weird mirror match, and let's say for whatever reason they decide to place their Dual Axe Archdragon behind their Lawkeeper Vanguard. If you were to use your Lawkeeper's bind ability, bind their rear guards, and if you did not win this turn, they can immediately correct their mistake and put the right rear guard to where it belongs, and put Dual Axe Archdragon and to the right, rear guard column they belong. So stuff like that you gotta watch out for. You gotta try to beat down as much things as you possibly can. But other than that, if as long as you play deck right, you should have no problem getting over huge obstacles like such. So yeah, that right there, Dragoons, was my CardFight Vanguard Kagero Lawkeeper deck profile. I'm really glad the way the deck is right now put together. And before I end this video right here, I just want to say real quick, Dragoons, in another CardFight Vanguard deck profile, I might actually do another Kagero deck profile. And I don't have enough Kagero Novel cards to make a straight up Novel deck yet. But I might be interested in making a Novel. I do have enough to make a Novel Rebirth Kagero deck profile. So if you Dragoons want to check that out, if you Dragoons want to see a deck profile of that, see how I would put that deck together, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll see what I can do. I might actually try to put together a Novel Rebirth deck profile for those who are interested. And with that being said, let me know what Dragoons think about this deck profile in the comment section down below. And I'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a favorite if you did. It really helps a little bit. And subscribe today to become part of the Dragon and Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.